Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, introducing you to my Metal Gear Solid 2 European Extreme Difficulty video walkthrough. This is the very first of the Tengu room shootouts, and this is probably one of the more legendary parts of this game. And for people wondering, I'm going to be using every gun I have because I'm not interested in rank. This is purely to show people how to get through the game. The tranquilizer is good for this bit, because the tranquilizer is just a boss of a gun, and you shoot people in the head with it, they go down, and it's awesome. But this part is pretty challenging, and for the most you don't need to worry about Snake. Snake is a boss, he's going to do his thing, he's going to kick some ass. What you want to be doing is you want to come to this piece of cover that I'm at now, make sure you've got your body armor on, and you want to pop up, shoot a guy in the face, and pop back down again. And just repeat and rinse. And what you want to be doing is when they've all cleared out and there's no more dudes, you want to push forward, and as soon as you trigger the next sequence of enemies, you want to get behind another chest-high wall and just keep bobbing up and down. And it's kind of random how this works, because the enemies themselves will always kind of appear at the same way, but Snake's performance does vary. Sometimes the guy's a boss, other times he's a bitch, and he'll get his ass kicked. And so if Snake dies, you'll fail. And when I played this on hard, or something like that, back on the original PlayStation 2 when I was a younger person, I couldn't do this bit for ages because Snape kept getting killed, and there was nothing I could do, so the only way that I could do it was to actually tranquilize him and do it all myself. But on European Extreme, the only time where Snake is even at risk of dying for me is in the later sections of this area. The last area before it closes, and the room afterwards, but in this start place, he was really good, and that is a good thing. So there is a little element of luck in these areas, because if Snake is on the ball, he's going to really help you. If he's not, he's going to be a pain in the arse. And a little bit of trivia as well. If you play on Extreme and European Extreme, I think it's only the harder difficulties that this happens. On the very first area of the plant, when you're playing as Raiden, or Raiden as he's called, sorry, you can... There's two like scuba suits that look like Big Daddies, where the M9 is on, I think it's on normal or easy. If you climb into there, you'll be able to pick up a shaver, and it's an electric razor that you can give to Snake in the ascending colon that we were just in. And if you do that, he'll actually be clean shaven for the rest of the game, which is a pretty funny thing to do, but it's kind of cool that they've put that in there. But this is where things start to get a little bit more difficult coming up, because what's going to happen is, once you've cleared these dudes up, the next wave of enemies are really hard, because you're very close to them, and you're going to get attacked by people with swords, and by people with guns. And thanks to the joy of YouTube and the infinite knowledge of the internet, there's been a lot of techniques that people implement for this area to do it really well. And this is one that is all across the internet. You'll be able to find it if you look. And there is a cooling spray glitch, but I couldn't find full information on it, so I didn't really know what it was about. But this is part of it anyhow. This is a really good technique. So you want to tranquilize Snake, crouch in this corner, and then just go into first person view with your coolant, spray the enemies to stun them. You don't have to spray them for long, and then finish them off with any gun of your choice. You have to make sure that they're stunned with the coolant spray though, or they will just block your bullets like that guy was doing. And if you're going for the best rank in the game, you'll have to tranquilize people, so you better be praying to God that you've got a lot of M9 rounds and that you're really good at headshotting people very quickly. But for the use of this video, I'm not taking my time with the shots at all, I'm just showing you a way to do it. And for the most of this section, the enemies will come from your left like that guy just did, but as soon as you get towards the last few dudes, a couple will start dropping just to your right, so you need to be observant and aware of them. The three guys across there shooting at me, they will never push forward, they will continue to hide behind cover, and they are the last enemies that you'll have to deal with. Couple word of warnings though. To the left and the right of those dudes that are shooting at me, there are people on balconies, and they can be the most lethal guys in the room, because they can kill Snake really quickly. And what you want to do is you want to make sure you've killed all the guys with the swords, then you want to trank all those people that are on the back line, then you want to wake Snake up, and then take out the rest of the dudes with Snake. But this is European Extreme, so the tranquilizer darts don't last very long, so one of the biggest issues in this area is when Snake starts to rouse and get up. You need to keep making sure to trank him to keep him down. Because if you don't, he's going to die super quick, he's going to draw the enemies to him, and this section's going to be longer than it needs to be. Because, yeah, this is a really long section too, because on European Extreme you take on about 50 fucking Tengus in this room alone. It's unbelievable. And you're going to be doing this for another 5 minutes, so it's all about just patience. As soon as you let your guard down, as soon as you're not on the ball, they'll fuck you up. Because these guys with the swords, they kill you in about 3 hits. They do not mess around. Sometimes it's 2, and it's actually kind of funny because the life on the game is huge, and you think, oh, I've got huge life, but the damage criteria is also huge. So in essence, your life's as small as it was in Metal Gear Solid 3 on the hardest difficulty, or even Metal Gear Solid 1 when you started, because you can't take that many hits regardless of of how high your life is. It's just how it is. But I should probably be tranking Snake pretty soon. I don't know if I've already gone back and shot him one. Because I'm kind of, when you go into that gamer mode where you're focusing on nothing but the job in hand. And it's just patience. And the body armor helps a lot, because if you don't have the body armor on, you die even quicker. And if you're just joining me on this video and you don't have the body armor, and you're at this section, you're kind of fucked, because you find it when you're swimming. So fingers crossed you pick that up, because if you didn't, this and the Solidus fight are going to be really interesting for you. Because Solidus is not too bad, he's just very long, because the damage you do to him is very minute on the harder difficulties. The Metal Gear Ray fight doesn't really matter how much body armor you've got, because you're going to get killed almost instantly from every attack that they do. And that sucks a lot, and that is probably my personal hardest fight of the game, because it's the most physically demanding. But once you get the rhythm down, it becomes almost hypnotic, and as long as you can concentrate and as long as you don't get too overzealot, you can really do some serious damage. But you'll notice I've moved on to the assault rifles because I'm running low on the ammo of my pistols. The assault rifles on this game are fucking annoying, because the Xbox pad does not have the pressure stuff that the PlayStation 1 does, and you can counteract this with the analog, but I couldn't get comfortable doing it, so I just kind of tap the button and hope for the best. But you could even use the sword if you wanted to save ammo, if you were a real stickler. You could let them get really close, stun them with the spray, and then whip them with the sword, because you can slash the sword in first-person view. But there's another round into Snake's leg, just to keep him down, and this is it. This is the strategy. This is what you've got to repeat. But I'll talk about some Metal Gear Solid 3, because I just recently beat that again after many years, and for the most, I'm pretty confident. I was going to say comfortable and confident, but I kind of fused them into like confident. But I'm pretty comfortable with it. A couple fights did not go the way I wanted them to, and it was only on normal because I wanted to do a practice run before I started the European Extreme. But I've got a lot of faith, because I know as soon as I learn the patterns of the enemies, it's going to make the game a lot easier, because I can just trank them and run. I don't have to mess about too much with the camouflage. I'm not worried about any of the boss fights except for Boss herself, because I used to be really good at her, but I've completely forgot how I got good at her. So when I was fighting her on normal, I was having a lot of trouble countering her CQC, and she kept breaking my bones, and that was getting really annoying. And silly things like the Mosin Nagant, the aimer was bang on her face and it missed, and stuff like that. I got frustrated with the controls, I got frustrated with the camera sometimes, and it's something I need to practice, but as soon as I'm well versed on it, I'm sure I'll be able to nail it. And the luxury of doing a European Extreme guide is she's going to kill me really quickly, so I'm going to get game overs, as opposed to, the frustration of trying to let somebody kill you when they're not doing enough damage. So I will be able to practice it. But the enemies have stopped coming now, you'll notice, I think. As soon as they stop dropping down, that means you've got to the end, so put your M9 on and keep bobbing up, line up your shot, and then take them out. But be really careful, because these guys shoot a lot, and their P90s do some serious damage. But as soon as you've tranked all 3 of them, you can either wake Snake up, or you can try and focus on the guys on the balconies. It's entirely up to you how you do it. I believe that I wake Snake up, so that's probably the way that I would go as well. But I have actually done this where all this went smooth, and then I woke Snake up and the guys on the balcony killed him, because you just couldn't kill them in time. So you want to definitely support him if you can, because like I say, his performance is random. But yeah, there were a couple of times I got lost on Metal Gear Solid 3 as well, because I could not remember where to go. But for the most, I'm really excited to start the guide, and the main reason is you can put the game over if seen, and the amount of times where I get seen and I wish the enemies had just killed me because I wanted to redo it and do it better was unbelievable, and I'm going to have that option when I play and record the guide, because I used to stinger my feet. That's how frustrated I was getting because the enemies weren't killing me fast enough when I fucked up and I wanted to do it cleaner. But like, I'm pretty good at the start of the game. I'm decent on all the boss fights, and hopefully I'll be able to give as much help and as much knowledge as I did for this one. But that is the first Tengu room down. Some of people say that that's probably the hardest. The next one coming up is very hard as well, but if you can get the pattern down and if you can get patient and good enough at it, you should have no issue. But thanks for watching, people, and I'll see you in the next video. You take care now.